Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing with y'all some of the things that I'm going to be doing differently, or that I have been doing differently so far this pregnancy, which is my fourth pregnancy. I have two boys and a girl, and this is our third boy, our fourth baby. So I have gone through pregnancy many times now, but every pregnancy is different, every labor and delivery is different, as is every newborn and every child. So you can only plan for so much and do so many things. Life is just gonna take over, things might change. Maybe you're pregnant, you wanna learn some more, you just like hearing other people's experiences, or you're just trying to figure out what your options are when it comes to all this stuff. So if that's the case, definitely keep watching. I'm also going to be sharing my 31-week pregnancy update, or my bump update, with y'all, kind of like the cravings and things that have been going on lately. But yeah, if you guys love this kind of stuff, or if you're into pregnancy content, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new. I would love to hear from you, especially if you are pregnant. Let me know down below where you're at in your pregnancy and how it's been going and what you love about it. All right, y'all, let's get into it. Okay, starting out, I'm gonna start in labor and delivery. My first three pregnancies, or my first three labor and deliveries, I had multiple people in my room, and I liked that. It wasn't an invasion of privacy for me. I just kind of felt like, hey, whoever wanted to come, if you guys wanted to experience this with us, I'm totally down for that. I think it's something amazing. You know, it's up to you if you want to be in the room. And then you add in all the nurses and the doctor and all of that. It's a lot of people. I mean, I think my first labor and delivery, we had like 15 people in the room. Like, it was crazy, but I enjoyed it, and I loved that those people were there to experience it with us. But this time around, my husband and I decided that we only want it to be him and I. And I'm really excited about this because this is our last baby. No matter what, we are not having any more children. This is our fourth and last baby. And I feel like the last time should be experienced intimately between me and my husband. And of course, you have the doctor and the nurses that are going to be there. But I want this to be a moment. I remember all of my labor and deliveries, but I want this last one to be extra special because it is the last. And it's the last time me and my husband are going to go through this together. It's the last time he'll be by my side, next to the bed, you know, holding my leg, trying not to look in that direction, you know, rubbing my head and talking to me. And I just want that to be just for us. I do plan on vlogging it if they allow me, because we used to video all of our labor and deliveries except for my daughters. They told us we couldn't. And so I had a photographer come in and took pictures, which I love those pictures. Those are just awesome. But I'm hoping that they're going to allow me to just set the camera up and have it, you know, running. We're not going to have somebody in there holding a camera or anything like that. So hopefully that happens, because I love having all of my pregnancies and labor and deliveries on video to be able to look back on. So I'm hoping for that. But either way, I want it to just be me and my husband, just a super special time for us. So I'm really excited about that. Now, the next thing, I'm sorry y'all, if I keep looking down, I have written everything down in my phone, because pregnancy brain, we forget all the time. Everything is on my phone. Oh, this is something that I would love to try. Now, this again is something that I cannot predict. With my first pregnancy, my water broke. And we got to the hospital. They had to induce me. I was probably in labor for quite a few hours, like overnight, but I didn't really feel any contractions or anything. But I was sitting in the bed the whole time, and I was bored to tears, and I didn't understand why the baby wasn't coming. I wasn't feeling anything. I was very confused. And then when baby finally came, I had gotten the epidural, and it was a wonderful experience. But I didn't know that you could get up and walk around if you felt the need to. And I wish I would have known that back then. So just so you know, if it's your first time, it's your pregnancy, your body, you can say, hey, can I get up and walk around? Can I do these things? Most of the time they're going to say yes, just don't do this, you know, or make sure you're holding this bag or whatever IVs are in you, or all those things. But they're probably going to allow you to do that. I just didn't know, and so I didn't even want to ask. I thought, you know, we're strapped into the bed. They have to check the baby all the time. I'm not supposed to be moving or anything. Now, my last 2 pregnancies, my water did not break. I just started having contractions, and they quickly escalated. So by the time we got to the hospital, I was in so much pain. I was begging for the epidural. When I got the epidural, I just laid in the bed. And not saying that's not okay, because it was relaxing, and I was talking to my mom and my sister and my husband and the nurses, and it was a fun time, and it was a nice, easy time. But if I can walk this time, I want to walk. Like, I want to be able to stroll around the room. I want to be able to feel the contractions coming on slowly. Obviously, when I get to that point where I can't take it anymore, if they give me the epidural and I cannot walk because my legs are so numb, I totally understand that. But I want to be able to have it more relaxing this time. And again, with just me and my husband, if they allow me to, and if I physically can, I want to be able to stand up and walk around or bounce on a ball or do all of those things, because I never did that with any of my other ones. Now, again, these are things, that's something that I would love to do, but obviously I don't know for sure if that's going to happen until I get to the hospital. So just remember that. Don't make your list, especially a birth plan, that is like, it has to be this way. And if it doesn't end up going that way, you get upset, because this should be something that is memorable. And I don't want to say it's fun, because obviously you're in pain, you're birthing a baby. But I loved every single one of my labor and deliveries, and I remember all of them. And when I got the epidural, you know, I didn't have pain, but I could still feel everything that was going on, and I could feel the pressure. I knew where the baby was. I could feel all the contraction pressure. And I love that. I love that I got to experience it without being stressed, or without having my body under stress or baby under stress. Now, obviously, if you are all for a natural birth, go you, like, go girl, that's awesome. And there's plenty of women out there that do it, and they look like super women. But for me personally, I always knew that I wanted an epidural. I wanted to be stress-free, and I wanted to be able to remember every part of it. So that is why I chose that. But that may not be you, and that's fine. Okay, the next thing I want to do differently is I want to have a playlist this time, and I want music to be playing at all times that I'm in the hospital room before baby comes out. We never did this. For one, I don't really think I even thought about it, but when we got there, we just had the TV on, and we would flip through, especially if you're sitting there for a while waiting for baby to come. You know, you're just flipping through channels, and then by the time the nurses and the doctor come in, it happens so quickly that I didn't have time to think like, oh, put music on or do this. So this time around, I definitely want to have a playlist ready. I want to have it playing the minute we come in the room, you know, something nice and easy, music that me and my husband like, and just have it playing at all times, so that whenever baby does decide to come, and whenever I go into full-term active labor and pushing baby out, then the music is playing and no TV on. I want to just have the TV off completely. So that is something that I never have done before, and I kind of regret, but I'm definitely going to be doing that this time around. So if you guys have any good playlists that you have played while you were in labor and delivery, let me know down below some music, either an artist or a song that you really, really loved, and that you felt like just made you feel relaxed and just made the whole moment special. I would love some recommendations. Let me know down below. The last thing for labor and delivery is I want to be able to pull the baby out myself. And again, this is something that I don't know if I will be able to or not. This isn't something that I'm like, I have to have, and it can't be any other way. But since it is my last baby, and I haven't asked my doctor yet, so I need to ask her, you know, hey, are you okay with this? Would this even be a possibility? But if it is a possibility, I would love to be able to, in those moments where baby's head is popped out and I'm pushing the last 1 or 2 pushes, be able to reach down and pull that baby out myself and pull him to my chest. If you guys ever watched the Kardashians, this is where I saw it firsthand. Like, I had never heard of this before. I didn't even know you could do this. Long time ago, Courtney's first labor and delivery, she pulled Mason out at the very end. And I always thought that that was something like so magical and so cool to be able to do that. You know, it's your body, it's your baby, I don't know. And so ever since then, I've always wanted to do it. But like I said, with my last 3, things either happened so quickly, or in the first one, I really didn't know what you could or couldn't do. All of those kinds of things. So this time around, I know that's something I want to do. Obviously, I'm going to run it by my doctor first, see what she thinks. And if she already knows that that's kind of what I want to do, I'm sure that when we're in the moment, she'll remember and she'll be able to say, hey, you want to pull your baby out now? You know, he's here, he's ready to come out. So I'm really hoping that I get to do that. I'm crossing my fingers. I think it would just be, again, just something so magical to go with the whole experience, and just me and my hubby and my doctor, who I love. She's the best doctor in the world, I swear. But that is something I would love to do. And again, if you have done this, because I know there's been plenty of people that have done it. I've seen other videos of this happen. If you're watching this video right now and you have done this yourself, let me know down below how that experience was for you, because to me, just watching it, I feel like would just make the whole delivery process just 10 times better. I just feel like, oh, I just would love to do that. And again, y'all, I'm super like emotional and nostalgic and thinking about all of these things because this is my last one, and I know I will never get these chances ever again. So I want to make sure that I'm doing the things, or at least asking if I can do certain things that I've wanted to do all these other pregnancies and I just never did, whether I forgot or I was too afraid to ask, any of those things. So I really hope I get to do it. It would be awesome. Okay, now I'm going to move on to postpartum. So in postpartum, I definitely want to wear a belly corset kind of thing. It's not a corset, but Belly Bandit is the one that I really want to get. And theirs is the postpartum and C-section recovery panty, which looks like a corset in the front. So it goes up over the belly, super tight, but it also is underwear. And I used to use just the belly band that you would wrap around the belly, which is fine. But it was so uncomfortable for me. I just didn't like it very much. And then with my daughter, what I ended up getting was almost like Spanx underwear up over the belly. And again, those were fine, but I never felt like the compression was enough around my stomach. And so they make certain kinds for postpartum that is a lot stronger, and the compression that you need is in the places that you need it most, whether it's in your recovery places or just on the sides. Like, they have all kinds of stuff. So that is something I'm definitely doing different. The other thing I'm going to be doing differently is wearing it immediately after labor and delivery, or at least the day after, and wearing it for 2 weeks straight. I did this with my first pregnancy and it helped me so much. Now, I don't mean that it helped me like get skinny or anything like that, but it just made me feel so much more secure. My back felt stronger. I was able to like rock baby and hold baby and breastfeed and do all these things without my lower back or even my upper back really hurting me very much. And then recovering down there, because I have ripped and been cut quite a few times. So stitches are not helpful. And if it's not secure feeling down there with your underwear or anything that's tight around there, it hurts and it rubs and it itches. It's not a good feeling. So I definitely want to use the C panty, is I think what they call it, even though I'm not having a C-section, or at least I don't think I am. I haven't had a C-section ever. But I just feel like it's just more compression and just kind of holding everything together better than just putting a belly band over the top. So I'm definitely getting that, and I'm definitely going to be wearing it like I did with my first, which I regret not doing this with my second and third, is either immediately or the day after I give labor, put it on and then wear it for 2 weeks straight, just to make sure that everything just feels super secure and helps my back. And it really does help your recovery time, for one, but for two, you have other kids going around and you need to be able to move and do things. And if your back is killing you and it's sore and you feel like your stomach muscles obviously are not there anymore, and there's not even a baby there to hold your body up, you start feeling like you cannot hold your body up. And so that really helps kind of stabilize that area. Okay, now for breastfeeding. I love breastfeeding. I think it's wonderful. It definitely hurts. There's definitely parts of it that are not fun, with engorgements and bleeding nipples, and there's all kinds of things that it can happen. And again, it depends on the baby. My first son would not latch, and it was very frustrating. And since I was a new mom, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know if that was normal, and it was very frustrating for the both of us. And then I was trying to pump, and my milk supply was getting lower. So that whole experience was not that fun, but it was also a learning experience. And then the second and third time around, I got better and better with breastfeeding. I got better with scheduling and being able to stay on that schedule, whether it was breastfeeding and pumping. So with my daughter, I was able to go 6 months breastfeeding, and then I had pumped throughout that. So I had milk stashed in the freezer. I think that lasted us another like 2 months. So for 8 months, she was getting breast milk. And I loved the experience I went through with my daughter. Was awesome. But she also latched on pretty quickly in the hospital. This time around, what I want to do different in that area is I don't want to force this baby to latch onto my boob immediately. They make you think that, okay, they put the baby on your chest, skin to skin, they wipe them down, and then they're like, okay, it's the golden hour, you need to get them on the boob and get them feeding. And it kind of becomes overwhelming, and then you start feeling stressed out, because if the baby doesn't latch, then you kind of start feeling like, oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm doing. And it's not a good environment. And I have read things recently saying that we don't, as the mother, even though the nurse is saying like, hey, here, you need to do it now, here, let me show you, and trying to shove the baby on there, you actually don't have to do that. If you do not feel comfortable with that, you can say like, it's okay, I've got it. If I need any help, I will ask. I'll call the nurse, or I'll call the lactation center and say, hey, I can't get him to latch, whatever. But this time around, what I want to do is let the baby root around and get it for himself when he's ready. And usually that happens within the first hour, but I'm just saying that I don't want to feel like I have to immediately just shove him on there, and make it this forceful thing. For one, it starts out your whole breastfeeding journey stressful. Number two, it can cause the pain that you feel, because baby isn't going to latch properly because you're shoving the nipple in their mouth pretty much. When baby is able to find the boob for themselves, find the nipple, find the milk source for themselves, and really just start doing what they need to do, it's way less stressful and overwhelming. It's better for baby. The bonding time and the way that you're gonna feel and the things that you're gonna feel with your baby is gonna be way better, and it's gonna go a lot smoother. So that is definitely something I'm gonna be doing differently. I'm not gonna force this baby to latch immediately. I'm obviously going to, if I need to, kind of move him along a little bit, make sure he knows that it's right here, it's ready for you, fine, but I'm not gonna force his face or his head on there. I want him to be able to find it for himself. I want us to start this breastfeeding journey off very smoothly and just about bonding with me and him. Now, the other thing I'm gonna do in my breastfeeding journey is I'm going to start pumping earlier than I did with my last couple babies, mainly just because I have never had an overproduction of milk, and I want to be able to have a lot of milk stashed up. I would love to have milk stashed up, and I would love to breastfeed for the first year. So by pumping in between feedings, it tells your body to produce more. It almost tells your body that you're having twins, or you've had twins or triplets. So it needs to produce more milk, which is how you end up making a freezer stash. So this time around, instead of waiting until my milk comes in, and maybe a week into when my milk comes in or something like that, and then start pumping, I want to start pumping in the hospital. Now, if you're a new mom, I don't know that I would recommend this, because you don't know if you're going to have an overproduction. And if you do this and your body naturally overproduces, you are going to get the worst engorged breasts ever, and it is very painful. So I would recommend this if you were like me, you've had a child before, and you know that you've always had a kind of an issue making sure that your milk supply stays up or that the flow is good, then I would try this. But obviously in the beginning you have colostrum that comes in. It's not breast milk immediately, and so the colostrum they need the most in those first 3-4 days, I think it is. So I feel like, well, if I'm already pumping, I get all that out. If he needs extra, we have it already. And then once my milk comes in, it really is going to tell my body to produce a lot of milk. And I already have my schedule ready for breastfeeding because of how I did it with my daughter, and it was super successful with her, and it made my life easier, her life easier. Well, her life easier. She was doing great breastfeeding and getting all these milk bottles. But I definitely am going to keep that schedule. So I have all that down. I just know that I want to start a little bit earlier. So maybe that will really trigger my body to really start making, as much milk as possible so that I can store up as much as possible. Now I am going to have a breastfeeding 101 video out. It will not be out till after I have baby boy, but I will have a video out on that, talking all about breastfeeding and pumping and the way that I believe has helped me, especially after having two that were, kind of okay breastfeeding journeys, to figuring it all out, having the schedule, knowing exactly what I should have done the first 2 times that helped me out the 3rd time around. So all the tips and tricks that you should know, especially if you're a first time breastfeeding mama, or even just if you're gonna pump exclusively, which is great too. I will have that video out, so make sure you keep a lookout for that. Another reason why you should be subscribed and make sure that you press that bell for the notifications. So when that video comes out, it will notify you, and then you can watch it right away. Okay, this time around, something that I have done differently is take way more bump pictures, which I feel like with every pregnancy I've kind of done this. With Jade, I took a lot of bump pictures with a letter board, which was really cute. But what I love about doing, what I decided to do this time around, and I have been doing so far, is taking way more bump pictures of just random, if I'm in the bed, I take a picture. If I'm with my kids, if I'm sitting on the couch, I take a picture, different outfits or whatever it is. Having all those pictures, because that is probably one of my favorite pictures, are bump pictures. I just think they look so beautiful and so cute. And if you have stretch marks, you can see those, and to me, it's a whole storyline for myself, all the different children I've had up to this one, and just the beauty and the miracle that's happening. But I'm also want to take more pictures with my kids and my bump, or my kids and myself while pregnant. So with that being said, I have gotten quite a few extra pictures with my kids, not as many as I would like. So I'm really trying to cram in some more of those before this baby comes, because I am 31 weeks pregnant, so we don't have a whole lot of time left. Time flies by when you get into your 30th week on, it feels like it went like that. So I definitely want more pictures with me and my kids and the belly bump. And another thing that I'm going to be doing differently this time is when we have our maternity pictures, it's going to be a full family affair. We're going to have my husband and all of my kids involved in it, and mainly because it is the last baby, that is why I wanted it. But all my other pregnancies, I have done different things. I did a boudoir shoot for one. The other one, we've done outdoor photos, we've done indoor photos, we've done all those things. I have. So they've all been of just myself and the bump and me and baby. No pictures with the kids, no pictures with my husband. So this time around, I definitely want to incorporate the whole family in it, and mainly just because it's showing us becoming this family unit together. The last baby is coming into this world, it's completing our family, and I want everybody to be involved in it. Now this last one, I think, is just because I have had 4 pregnancies so far, but going with the flow more. I have always been that kind of person. I mean, even in my first pregnancy, I really just went with the flow. It was like, if my doctor told me not to do this, I'm not gonna do it. If they told me I could do it, I'll do it. But other than that, just going with whatever, listening to my body and knowing that, my body was made for this. So what do I really need to be worried about, kind of thing, which was really great. It really made my pregnancy so nice, and my labor and delivery, because everybody would say, aren't you scared? Like, you don't know what's gonna happen. And I was like, well, I mean, I guess I could be if I really thought about it. But I knew he has to come out. So if I dwell on that, all it's gonna do is just freak me out. So it was just like, I know it's gotta happen. I don't know how it's gonna happen, but I know that I'll be fine and everything's gonna work out. And so I feel like that just helped keep my mind not so stressed out and worried or fearful. And it made the rest of my pregnancy journey and labor and delivery like a whole lot nicer. So that is a little tip for you guys. If you are first time pregnant, or even if you're second or third and you want to change something up, I would really recommend that. Like, make sure that you're just let your body go with the flow. Listen to your body, really get in tune with your body. And obviously, if you have questions, ask your doctor. Do not be afraid like I was in the beginning, like thinking that there's certain things that we can't do, so I'm just not even gonna ask. I'm sure they're just gonna say no. Never think that, always ask. There's actually quite a few things that you can do while pregnant that most doctors will allow you to do and say, oh no, it's no big deal. So always make sure you ask and make sure that you try to make this the best experience possible, because it really should be. It should be the best experience of your life. All right, y'all, now I'm gonna get into my bump update. I am 31 weeks pregnant, like I said, with baby boy. So far, I have gained 20 pounds, which is perfect for this pregnancy. My first pregnancy, I gained like 60 pounds and I actually ate really healthy. So I don't know how that happened, but I gained a lot of weight. And then my second and third, I gained about like 30 to 35 pounds. So this time around, I'm definitely, I would say a little bit smaller, but I still have a whole nother month and like 2 weeks left. And you usually gain the most weight those last like 3 weeks before giving birth, because that's like the baby's really getting all the weight. He's getting chubby, or he or she is getting chubby, getting all the fatty skin and cells in their body getting ready to come out. So you will notice that you feel kind of okay, and then all of a sudden 3 or 4 weeks before you have the baby, you feel like huge and you've gained quite a few pounds. That is why baby is getting ready to come out. So I don't want to say anything yet because I am only at 20 pounds, but I definitely could gain another 10 or 15, which might be a lot in the next couple weeks, but you know, you never know. So I have to say, by 28 to 29 weeks, I started craving chocolate, which I love chocolate to begin with. But now I want chocolate milk every day and every night, or a chocolate milkshake. So I literally drink chocolate milk or chocolate milkshakes every night before bed, which is probably the worst time you should be eating or drinking that, but I'm pregnant and that's what I crave and I love it. And then at dinner time, if I make broccoli or green beans with our dinner, I cannot eat enough of them. Like, I literally take a bite and it's like, oh my gosh, it's heaven. It's so good. So it's weird, I think, that I crave chocolate stuff and then broccoli and green beans. But those are the two things right now that I just cannot be without. Like, it seriously just makes my day, my taste buds and everything. It just gets, oh, I mean, my mouth is watering right now just thinking about it. But the other thing is too, if you guys follow me on Instagram, I talk about this a lot. If you don't, I'll leave my handle here and my link down below in the description box. I feel like I already said that. Did I not already say that? I don't know. But make sure you go follow me over there. But I talk a lot about how this pregnancy I have been craving Starbucks coffee, which I've always loved Starbucks, but I usually drink coffee at home. Starbucks was really just something that we would get, you know, oh, if we were out or a special occasion or something like that. It wasn't like a daily thing. But this pregnancy, all I want is Starbucks coffee every single day. And I will drink my coffee at home, and it's good, but it's nothing compared to what the Starbucks coffee tastes like to me. And so I don't know what they put in it this time around. But I do feel like it just, oh, it's just so good right now. My lower back is definitely getting to the point where it's really starting to hurt, which that is normal, but I have a lot of injuries and other things that go on with my body. So when I get pregnant, it's like 10 times worse. And of course, when you get further along in your pregnancy and you're getting bigger, then it's gonna get worse. And so far I had kind of gotten away with having too much back pain. I have a lot of lightning crotch, which if you don't know what that is, I will have linked my video here of the TMI pregnancy symptoms. If you want to give that a watch, I talk about what lightning crotch is there, and a few other kind of gross, weird things. So definitely give that one a watch after this video if you want. But I have that. I've had that like the whole pregnancy, but I kind of got away with not having as much back pain. And I feel like the minute I said that, I jinxed myself because now it hurts all the time. And if I like stand on one side too long, then it feels like it just compressed on that side, and then I go to move and I feel like my leg's gonna give out. Like it's this whole thing, y'all. It sucks so bad. But I'm almost to the end, it's no big deal. So that definitely has been flaring up probably in the last week or so, has gotten really bad, and I know it's not gonna end until baby comes. It may even get worse. And I did tell my husband, I said, I think this might be the hardest pregnancy yet for the ending part. So the last like 12 weeks of this pregnancy, I think are definitely gonna be the hardest that I've gone through so far, because this baby loves to bury himself so low, and the pain as they get so big in your belly, trying to push themselves down inside an area that is not very big compared to your belly sticking out, he like goes down as close as he can to my crotch and loves to just sit in there. And then of course if he's moving, which he moves a ton, and he loves to move all night long, so it happens during the day when I'm standing up, and that's the worst because it literally feels like you're gonna, like you got punched in the crotch and then you're gonna fall to the ground. And then at nighttime he does it and he gets lower and lower, and I'm laying there, and of course I can't sleep because of that, and it feels like sharp pains, like he'll hit something, he must hit a nerve or something, or it literally feels like he hits my pelvic bone. I don't even know, like I'm like, you can't be doing that because they're not that close to it, but that's what it feels like. So I don't know what's going on there, but that part definitely sucks. It's not been fun for me. And then I'm definitely cannot breathe at all, which again, that's kind of normal for this time. If you've been pregnant before, you know that. You feel like you can't breathe like the whole pregnancy, but when you get around this time, like me walking from the front of our house to the back of our house, if I'm even holding an item like my purse, I am just out of breath. So that definitely is not fun, but that is what happens. And then the last thing that I literally hate about this is I have the worst varicose and spider veins on my legs. I have had that problem started with my first pregnancy, just because you get a lot of blood flow. My legs were super swollen. I had gained a lot of weight in that pregnancy, and there was a vein on my leg that went from like across the front of my thigh all the way down through my calf to my foot, and it was so big and bulging, like you could see it from a mile away, and I hated it. And I went to the vein specialist after I had the baby, you know, and they're like, oh, we can do this, we can do that, we'll take it out, blah blah blah, but it costs more money than insurance covers, and it was just like this whole thing, and I thought, whatever, I'll do it one day, but I've never done it. Fast forward to, I'm now in my 4th pregnancy. Literally like a month ago, I looked down after I got out of the shower, and I was like, why do I have a bruise on the inside of my knee? And I looked at it, it's not a bruise. It is the biggest spider veins you will ever see. And I have never seen stuff like this other than like on old ladies, you know, super old ladies. And at first it really upset me because I was like, oh my gosh, like my legs look like they're ruined, you know? I don't even think that this is something that I can fix unless I put makeup on my legs so people can't see them. But they have gotten really bad, and it used to just be on one leg, and now they're on both, and they go down. They're all over, on my thighs, by my knee, by my ankles, down by my foot, through my calf, and I don't like them, y'all. And it makes me sad because when I see them, I'm like, oh, I used to have really pretty legs growing up, and now I feel like they're not that pretty anymore. I'm definitely gonna have to be putting some creams and stuff on them, and maybe even some makeup if I need to later on. But I'm hoping that maybe some of the purple ones that look really bruised will go down after I have baby, and I kind of go back to pre-pregnancy weight and stuff like that. But I do know that a lot of the other ones, the bulging ones, are going to stay like that unless I have them removed. So that sucks. But I'm gonna show y'all what they look like in just a minute, because I feel like everybody's gonna wanna know, like, what are you talking about? Why do you act like they're so bad? When I show y'all, I promise you, you're gonna be like, oh wow, that's a lot. So don't freak out. Don't freak out when you see these crazy leg things. Okay, y'all, you ready for this? So this side right here is the one that I got, I think that was in my first and second pregnancy, and right now, because I'm sitting, it's not well, it is a little bit, but it's not bulging too bad. But this one like goes all the way down the back of my leg here. You can kind of see that right there. It goes all the way down here, and it wraps around my calf right here. And then this one popped up. See how it's like purple right here and green? This right here popped up during the end of my second and my third pregnancy. And then this time around, y'all, those have gotten worse. This one has definitely gotten bigger and grown like further down my leg and bulgier. And then this is the one I was talking about. Like, see how purple that is? I thought I had bruised myself somehow. Nope. That is what happened. Those are veins. And now it goes all the way down. You can see like how this is all purpley. The purple ones go down this way, and then also the green bulging one goes down. I think it goes down. Yeah, it goes like all the way down. And I feel like it meets up with this one right here. But oh my gosh, y'all, I hate it so bad. The only good thing is that it's on the inside of my leg, I guess. You know, it's not on the outside. But this one, you can definitely see when I'm standing up. And you can kind of see like right here, these purple ones are popping out. And I don't really know like how these happen unless it's just from the gravity and blood flow, because I swear I did not have this thing like a month ago, and then all of a sudden it just like popped up out of nowhere, and it was that big immediately. So I don't know how. I'm gonna stand up and see if you can see this one bulging out. Yeah, see how you can see? Those are veins, y'all. Bulging. That lighter section right there, it's because it's bulging out. That lighter section right there. Yep. See how it's like kind of puffy? So it's not fun, but it has happened, so I gotta live with it. Oh, and please excuse my chipped toenail. I have like one toenail, or one painted, not painted toenail over here, and one chipped. All right, y'all, so here is my 31 week, this is my 31 week bump update, or my bump pick, I guess is what you would call that. It's pretty round. You can kind of tell, like, I mean, like, he literally sits like right here and right here. So that's nice. Look at that little baby in there. So cute. I love bumps, y'all. I feel like they're so beautiful. So cute. Boop, 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 boop. And you can see my belly button. I've always had like a deep innie, so it takes a while for it to pop out, but you can start seeing now, like, it's this top piece right here is starting to pop out. So I might have like an innie outie before this baby comes. And then if y'all didn't see my last day in the life vlog, I showed y'all about this shirt. If you didn't see it, make sure you watch that one. I'll leave it linked down below and in the info cards. But this dress I actually got from Amazon. This dress will be in my Amazon haul video that's coming up soon. And then this tee is from Target that I recently got. But one of my favorite things right now is being able to tie the t-shirt up over the bump with a dress, or even biker shorts or maternity leggings. I just think that's like the cutest thing. So I got a lot of cute clothes and Amazon stuff coming if you guys want to check that video out. But this is my bump right now, 31 weeks, 20 pounds in. I think we're doing good. Okay, y'all, so that is my 31-week pregnancy bump update and all the things that I'm going to be doing differently. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I hope maybe you learned something. If you even have some ideas that I didn't talk about, let me know down below, because I would love to even get some more ideas before they'll have this baby, or even if they're for labor and delivery or postpartum, breastfeeding, any of that stuff. I would love to keep that conversation going. Even though this is my 4th pregnancy, I don't know everything. We are always learning, y'all. There's always new things that happen. Like I said, everybody's pregnancy, labor and deliveries are different. Babies are different. So if you have anything that I didn't talk about that you feel like I should know about, let me know. But I do hope y'all loved this video. Make sure you give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new. And I will see y'all on my next one. Bye.